Found a quarter. We're back, YouTube, and this right here is going to be the walk around of my 2007 Yamaha R6. Look at that thing. She's dirty, so we're going to clean her up, get her looking real nice and fresh for you, and kind of go over some of the things that I've done to it, what it has on it, future plans, because, you know, things are always changing. But yeah, so let's get to it. So like I said in my last video, which if you haven't checked it out, then go check it out. But the R6 was actually given to me, so completely free. And again, if you want to find out, you know, the story behind that, then go back and check out my other video. I'll put a link to it down in the description. But currently, this is where we're at with it. So the biggest change that I did to the bike was actually these fairings. These are indeed Chinese fairings. I don't even know, can we say that anymore? Is that considered derogatory? All right, I don't mean anything by it, but either way, these Chinese fairings, which the company I got it from and everything else that's on the bike that I've put on it, I'll put links to it down in the description, but paid about 500 bucks for the fairings, and it was full set. We can see a little rash right here, which I didn't do. I let someone borrow the bike and they dropped it. No harm, no foul, you know. But either way, so about 500 bucks for the fairings, shipped and everything, and I've got no complaints with it whatsoever. The finish and fit was as I could expect. I think there might have been like one part down here up under where it was a bit of a pain taking and it was a bit of a pain putting the fairings on, But other than that, then nope, no complaints whatsoever. I like the color on them. Seemed like it was going to be pretty a pretty unique color. I hadn't seen them on anything else before. So that's the fairings pretty much. And we're going to be completely like random with this. The other thing that I put on the bike are these right here. These are the CRG Aero bar and mirrors, one on each side, obviously, so I can see what's going on behind me. I think they're actually kind of expensive. They're right around probably like $100 a piece or so, something like that. You know, you can find find them on sale, find a discount for them or something. But yeah, right around $100 for those. Got them because got them on the other bikes. But you know, again, no complaints with them. Finish, fitment, they give the bike a nice clean look. And I hate the fact of mirrors being on a bike. So, you know, mirror block offs. Got that. The tank itself, so again, in the pictures you saw, the tank used to be white because the entire bike was white. I took and had the tank painted black. That was just painted here locally. I wanted something that was like a minor gloss to it so that it can match the fairings. The company here, which is local, they did a really good job of that. So again, no complaints on that. You can see as we're around to the back of the bike, it does have an exhaust on it. That exhaust was on the bike when I got it. It's got some scratches and everything on there, but it's a Two Brothers exhaust, not a full system, just a can. Decent sound. I've got no complaints about it. And you know, it's kind of my like do anything bike, so I'm not gonna change it. The other thing we have back here are rear sets by Vortex. I have to have adjustable rear sets just because I'm pretty short. I'm 5'7". And with this bike, then I needed, same thing I need on all my other bikes, I need a way to be able to get myself into the proper position when I'm riding. So rear sets it is. Like them because they've got all the adjustability in the world. I mean, like tons and tons and tons of adjustability. Can't remember exactly how much I paid for them, but again, it'll be down in the description. Moving on around. Oh, the other thing about the rear sets is I have GP shifting on all of my bikes. If you don't have GP shifting, I suggest you get it. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, but you're not racing, so why do you have GP shifting? Like, you know, what's the point of it? To me, it's a more natural movement for me to want to go faster, stomp down, rather than clicking up. One of the biggest reasons for GP shifting is because if you move your foot down while you're in a turn, leaned over, then you're going to upset the bike less, and it takes less movement from you, less pressure from you to push down than it does to push up if you want to go to a higher gear. So I mean, that's just my preference, but again, I have GP shifting on all my bikes. I can't remember exactly when I changed over to GP shifting, but when I changed over to it, then I loved it. And I'll never go back. Never, ever go back. So I get a bike. That's one of the other reasons why I have to get rear sets, is because if it doesn't come with the ability to go over to GP shifting, then I'll change it to GP shifting. One of the other things that I put on as far as upgrades is, if you can see, it might be kind of hard to see with the sun and the lighting, but DID 520 chain conversion, still kept the same stock gearing, but went to the 520 lighter chain. Get some of that rotating mass to move a little bit faster, because it is just a 600. As far as like, can you actually feel the upgrade? I always tell people about this, like, can you feel the upgrade when you put it on there? I will say that anything that has to do with rotational mass on a bike, yes, you can definitely feel it, or at least I can feel it. So I recommend, if you can get something on the bike that moves, i.e. your chain, rims, sprockets, anything that moves, if you can make that to where it's lighter, then you're gonna see instant performance. And being that I'm here in Arizona, if you're washing a bike or a car you have to constantly keep it wet, because if you don't, you're just gonna end up with water spots. And then there was never a reason for you to wash the bike in the first place. The other thing that I added to the bike, I don't know if you saw it when I took the bike out, is it does have a pigtail for a battery tender. It's another one of those things that, you know, a long time ago, you have a battery go dead so many times, and then eventually you're like, I can't keep living life like this. So again, if you don't have a battery tender and you're not connecting your bike up to a battery tender when you're not riding it for, I don't even think, you know, it needs to be an extended period of time. I connect mine up if I don't ride the bikes for, like, if I'm not about to ride the bike, meaning like if I'm not planning on riding it like tomorrow or something, then I'm gonna put it on the battery tender. It's, to me, it's simple. It does nothing but help, and it keeps you from walking out, planning a ride and everything, only to walk out and you've got a dead battery on your hands. So that's just embarrassing. And you know, now that I think about it, I honestly think that those are all of the quote-unquote upgrades, look at that, air quotations, upgrades that I have to the bike right now, that I put on. Some of the other things, like these levers, they were put on by the guy that I got the bike from, which I'll be changing those out to ASV levers, just because I just like the feel of them. They're I believe their C5 levers are like, they're unbreakable levers, which tried and tested, like, I don't know, they're just a great levers. But yeah, I think that's it as far as what actual upgrades I've done to the bike. Now, I know people are like, oh, well, that doesn't seem like much, this and the other, but I mean, the other thing is I do have 3 bikes, which we'll put those on the channel here sooner or later. We got to get through the R6 first, guys. But yeah, that's it as far as upgrades for the bike. Now, when it comes to the things that I've put on the bike, that is a laundry list. So like I said in the last video, front rim was not broken, it was actually bent. Couldn't hold a seal from the last accident. The rear rim was still good, so it's original rear rim. Front rim was changed, and all the parts that I put on there, I pretty much got them from either eBay, R6 forums, but they were all secondhand. To me, there was no reason to buy them brand new because they weren't going on a brand new bike, and I could save a lot more money by getting them secondhand. So front rim, front forks, fuel pump. What else we have? The rear swing arm. So the entire rear swing arm was replaced because the last one was actually bent too from the accident. Front brakes, the left side caliber for the front brakes. So brakes in both of them, but left side caliber. Replaced the brakes in the rear caliber. Headlights, so up at the front of the bike, headlights, these are not the original headlights, these are aftermarket headlights, along with the tail light. What else? The rear subframe has been replaced also. And then also had to go in when we were doing the looking everything over on the bike, we realized that it hadn't had a valve adjustment in probably since the bike was built. And when I got it, the bike had about 34,000 miles on it, something like that, 34,000 miles on it. So we did a valve adjustment, which the bike did have an issue with cutting off and like bogging down under throttle. As soon as we did the valve adjustment, that took care of that problem. While we were in there, then of course we changed spark plugs, a few other things, just, you know, little common sense things. Gave it pretty much like a full overhaul, tune up and everything like that or whatever. No, the bike does not have an actual tune on it. I kind of like it without it having a tune, just because, you know, when I get on my other bikes that have all sorts of crazy electronics and rider aids and everything like that, then believe it or not, the R6 can actually, it can scare you. And it's because it doesn't have any of those things. So everything you're doing has to be rider input, has to be done by the rider. Well, YouTube, I think that's about it. I think that's gonna do it for this one. As always, if you made it this far, you might as well go down and hit the subscribe button. Post me a comment if you got one, and smash that like button. We'll keep bringing you content. In the meantime, I'm going to finish up the R6 because I've got that filthy chain on the other side that I need to clean, and then maybe go for a little ride or something. But either way, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. And if you want to get the backstory again on where the R6 came from, go check out the video down in the description. Thank you all. Peace, and I'll see you on the next one.